Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson became the highest-paid actor in 2016, 2019, and 2020. The People's Champion, who won the WWE Championship 8 times, is one of the most iconic and decorated personalities in sports entertainment. The raised eyebrow, which became the signature style of the Brahma Bull, the jabroni beating, pie eating, the popular slang, "just bring it." The most electrifying move in sports entertainment, whatever was linked to The Rock, became a pop culture and a high market value product. When things seem to fade away for the People's Champ, the reality is different. In fact, he is on the most successful time of his career at the age of 50. And if you want to smell how The Rock cooked his career from being broke to the status of the Great One, then watch the video till the end. Born in the family of pro wrestlers, Dwayne Douglas Johnson is the son of WWE Hall of Famer Rocky Johnson. Dwayne didn't have a great relationship with his dad, and he recalls it as a tough love between father and son. His childhood has not been so good, and as the family had to deal with numerous financial problems, they had to shift through various places to make a living. When he was 14, the Johnson family were evicted from their residential place and even forced out of Hawaii Island. He moved to Pennsylvania and got admitted to Freedom High School. And that's when his whole life took a new turn. He was recruited by head football coach Jody Swick to play in the school's team and fell in love with the game of football. Then, he got a full athletic scholarship at the University of Miami and started competing in the national level championships. After graduation, Dwayne wanted to play in NFL, but instead got into the Canadian Football League. Dwayne got signed with Calgary Stampeders, but sadly for Johnson, he got cut out just 2 months into his first season. Then, he has to go back to stay with his parents in a small apartment. Nearly spending about a month and a half jobless, battling depression, he was again called back to the football club. But Dwayne rejected the offer and tried his luck to become a professional wrestler. His father defied Dwayne's decision of rejecting the football career and stepping into the wrestling industry. But later on, at the time of the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, Rocky Johnson praises his son, Dwayne, and considers him a family legend. And Rock also considers his father as his real-life hero, and misses the WWE superstar, as Rocky Johnson passed away in 2020. Moving on with Dwayne's Stardom journey, this is the turning point of his career. He had to bet it all in. He was completely broke at that time. He had to pay his apartment rent, send money to his home, but was just making $250 Canadian a week if he would go out and play in the football league. And finally, he decided to make it to professional wrestling like his father. But he literally had only $7 left in his pocket. One of the toughest times of his life, going back to football, get a $250 paycheck, or moving to a completely new arena. Dwayne made up his mind and tried his luck towards what would make him a superstar. Luckily for Dwayne, this won't be a completely new arena for him. His father happened to be the first black tag team champion, and his maternal grandparents, Peter Maivia and his wife, were pro wrestler and wrestling promoters respectively. His uncles were wild Samoan fighters. And this won't be the first time when Dwayne has stepped up for wrestling. Back when he was 6 years of age, he used to put on the gym work and wrestle on the mats with his father. Dwayne was doing all the weight work in the gym since he was 13. He always believed that hitting the weights is his personal motivation and the strongest attitude of his life. Then, on November 4th of 1996, Dwayne made his television debut on Monday Night Raw, and 17th of the same month, he finally got his first debut match in the pay-per-view Survivor Series. He was given a stage name, the Blue Chipper, but Dwayne picked the name for himself as Rocky Maivia. And he won the match, as Rocky was the only one to survive the 8-man elimination tag match. It didn't take long for the third-generation superstar to get his hands on the gold. On February 13, 1997, he defeated Triple H to win the Intercontinental Championship on Monday Night Raw is War. He made his biggest pay-per-view debut on the 23rd of March 1997, when he had to defend the Intercontinental Championship on WrestleMania 13. He defeated the Sultan and remained the Intercontinental Champion. But, at this point, the audience was bored with his character and the reign of Rocky Maivia was on the brink of disappearance. Dwayne recalls, "My very first WrestleMania, that night 20,000 fans started chanting, 'Rocky sucks.' That was the end of my initial run in the wrestling." 1 month later, after participating in WrestleMania 13, Rocky lost his Intercontinental Championship to Owen Hart. Then, after suffering an injury and taking a 3-month hiatus from wrestling, he again returned to Raw is War in August of 1997. He joined the group called the Nation of Domination alongside The Godfather, D'Lo Brown, and Farouk. This time Rocky came back with a new name for himself, The Rock, and looks for redemption. He would go on to retain the Intercontinental title and get in a feud with big names in the industry. He went on a feud with Ken Shamrock, with whom he successfully defended the Intercontinental Championship a couple of times. But, back in 1998's King of the Ring tournament, he lost to Ken Shamrock in the finals. At this time, The Rock had fights with Stone Cold Steve Austin, against whom he managed to earn the Intercontinental Championship with a controversial forfeited victory. And, in the Royal Rumble of 1998, the two men were the only participants left after the elimination of 28 other superstars. But, Austin throws The Rock off the top rope to win that year's Royal Rumble. The Rock goes on to lead the group Nation, which was initially called Nation of Domination. He banishes Farouk from the team, and even defends his Intercontinental Championship against him at Over the Edge, in Your House on May 31st. Then, along with the group Nation, he gets in a feud with Triple H and D-Generation X. He defeats Triple H, and defends his title in a 2 out of 3 falls match at Fully Loaded, in Your House. But, he eventually loses the title to the Game in a ladder match at SummerSlam of '98. And, at this point, he started to get the likes of the audience, as he got his role more as of a good guy. He then wrestles with the group's own member, Mark Henry, which led the disassemble of the group, Nation. After going solo in his career yet again, this time Rock's popularity continues to grow amongst the audiences. The Rock heads towards superstar status, as he becomes the new face of WWF. Then back on November 15, 1998, he won the first World Wrestling title of his career. He defeated Mankind in the finals of Deadly Game Tournament for the vacant WWF title, which took place in the Survivor Series. Then, the title was exchanged between these two superstars numerous times. The Rock went on to win his second and third WWF championships against the Mankind in the period of 3 months. And, he again meets his former rival, the Rattlesnake, and defends the WWF Championship. After losing the title to Stone Cold at WrestleMania 15, The Rock went on to feud with Triple H and The Undertaker. At that time, again getting the role of a good guy, he battles against the corporate ministry. Then he forms a team with his former opponent, the Mankind, and their duo becomes one of the most popular tag teams in WWE history. The Rock and Sock Connection went on to become the WWF Tag Team Champions 3 times, defeating the duo of The Undertaker and The Big Show, and the New Age Outlaws. Then, The Rock pinned Triple H to become the WWF Champion for the 4th time, on April 30th of Backlash 2000. The Rock became WWF Championship for the 5th time at King of the Ring 2000. He got his hands on the WWF Championship for the 6th time in his career. Back on February 25, 2001, The Rock finally defeated Kurt Angle at No Way Out, after having a long feud with the Olympic gold medalist. In between winning his 5th and 6th WWF Championship, Rock had won the WWF Tag Team Championship teaming up with The Undertaker. The duo defeated Edge and Christian on Monday Night Raw on December 18, 2001. Rock won his first WCW Championship in SummerSlam of 2001, after pinning Booker T. Later on, he defeated Jericho to earn the title of WCW Championship for the 2nd time. After that, Rock was involved in the most iconic match of the wrestling era. He went on to wrestle the iconic legend, Hulk Hogan, at WrestleMania 18. The match was promoted as Icon vs. Icon. Ultimately, The Rock pinned Hogan, establishing himself as the top superstar of the era. Then, the People's Champ went on to set a record for himself, as he became the WWE Champion for the 7th time. He won the WWE Undisputed Championship, defeating Kurt Angle and then champion, The Undertaker in a triple threat match at Vengeance on July 21, 2002. The Brahma Bull featured in 2 iconic matches with the legends of the wrestling industry. On the pay-per-view No Way Out of 2003, he again faced Hulk Hogan and defeated him yet again. And in WrestleMania 19 on March 30, 2003, he faced his bitter rival, the Texas Rattlesnake. The match had got the WWE fans hyped up, as 2 iconic superstars were facing each other after a long time. Rock defeated Austin in a decorative fashion, as he delivered 3 consecutive rock bottoms to pin the Stone Cold. 1, 2, 3. Then, Rock faced the new member of WWE, Bill Goldberg, who was already a dominating force in the wrestling industry. Back in 2003's Backlash, the 2 superstars went on to face each other in a dramatic match. Goldberg delivered a back-to-back spear and a jackhammer, finally pinning The Rock to win the match. After a 7-year-long hiatus, The Rock made a comeback and started a feud with John Cena. Then, the 2 went on to face each other in WrestleMania 28. Cena hit the Attitude Adjustment, but Rock kicked out. Then, John went for Rock's move, People's Elbow, but ended up getting a rock bottom from the People's Champ. And, The Rock pinned him to win the match. After that, the Great One went on to face CM Punk in 2013's Royal Rumble. The match had some controversies, but was restarted later on. And then Rock hit the famous People's Elbow to win the WWE Championship for the 8th time. Then, The Rock will meet the Doctor of Thugonomics yet again in WrestleMania 29. Rock defended his title against John Cena in the main event. And, this time Cena would go to defeat The Rock, with an attitude adjustment. Since then, The Rock appeared numerous times in the WWE, but never went for the big matches. And, on August 3, 2019, The Rock officially announced his retirement from professional wrestling. But, Rock didn't make it as a global icon just as a professional wrestler. No doubt, the WWE superstar had a good exposure to the TV screens through wrestling. But stepping into Hollywood is the biggest gamble he made, when he was at the peak of his wrestling career, and that paid off huge for Johnson. Dwayne recalls, "When I was at the height of my career in the WWE, I felt that for the very first time that I was close to accomplishing everything that I wanted to accomplish in wrestling. And I quietly walked away, kind of shook me a little bit, because wrestling was all I knew at that time, and I had dabbled in acting, but yet I also felt that I wanted to do more. And I wanted to achieve more, and I wanted to grow. I wanted to grow as a person, I wanted to grow as an entertainer, and I wanted to reach as many people as possible." And, Dwayne did achieve all his goals as one of the best global entertainers in the world. Not only that, Dwayne made the list of highest paid actors for the past 6 years. Back in 2016, 2019, and 2020, Dwayne became the most expensive actor in the world. Similarly in 2017, 2018, and 2021, Johnson was the 2nd highest paid actor in the world. Let's take a look back at Dwayne's movie career. Dwayne will surely make the list of highest paid actors in 2022, and there's no doubt about it. And, it seems he is not stopping anytime soon. So, this is the journey of Dwayne Johnson to the status of being one of the most decorated entertainers of all time. From being broke, forced to leave the stay place, being rejected in a football career, and not being able to make it in the wrestling industry in the beginning, The Rock has faced it all. Dwayne never gave it up, and most importantly, he pursued his dreams with all his determination and discipline. And look, what height of success has the superstar reached now? With this, we've come to the end of this video. Hope you all liked the video. Make your say in the comments section below. Hit the like button and bell icon to watch our next video.